Rob Keratin here. I see one of the things that's trending the most on social media right now is the 10-year challenge. It's pretty cool because as I look back on pictures of myself 10 years ago, I see that I'd like to speak for, how do I say this? I like to speak for the work that God has kept me healthy enough to be able to do. 10 years ago, I was diagnosed with end-stage renal failure. End-stage renal failure is kidney disease. Kidney disease is when the kidneys no longer can filtrate the toxins that are byproducts of the food that you don't use for energy in your body. And so when you have kidney disease, you're no longer able to filter and process those waste byproducts that get eliminated through urine or through urine. And so 10 years ago in April, I was diagnosed with end-stage renal failure. So with that, I was on the road. I was had just got back from New York earlier that previous winter. I went up there and played some music, and I had a great time. Was working with a lot of really cool, all the cool hip spots up there. But health wise, I was just hurting. I was tired, walking up and down the stubways, and I look at the pictures now. I'll get on my phone here and show you. I was just bloated with water. I was fluid. Here, look at this picture there. That was me about 10 years ago. Fluid overloaded. And I just I was taking these diet pills. A lot of y'all know that anything to try and be thin, anything to try and not be overweight. And I can only imagine the kind of damage those kind of diet pills that have a lot of amphetamines in them and speed, metabolism, speed up your metabolism and do things to your body and your heart and that's really not designed to do. So anyway, I spent the last 10 years or so learning about my body, getting into shape. Because of the kidney disease diagnoses, I was placed on dialysis 3 times a week. So with that, it caused a big challenge in being able to tour and travel, and also not knowing how to properly get proper nutrients in my body and how to drink clean water and the difference between waters and the difference between proteins, and not all protein is the same protein, and just thinking that I'm doing the right thing, but still get this thing all right, but still malnutrition, still very much malnutrition based on my intake. So I learned how to better control. The number one issue was because of the kidney. I was like, okay, the kidneys, the more I started to learn and how the body works and if it's compartmentalized, I was like, I'm kind of stressing too much on the kidneys and need to focus on the heart. What is my blood pressure? So I started to, for one, speak positive affirmations. I got into that and learning that if I can't do nothing else physically, I at least need to have the heart. I say heart, I mean the attitude of somebody with a healthy heart. And so I just started saying, Lord, I thank you that my blood pressure is 120 over 80, 110 over 70. I thank you for that I have my heart beats with the rhythm of life, and that my heart functions efficiently and restores life and health throughout every organ in my body. And a lot of that to that degree in various, just moving in the right positive mental direction. That had a lot to do with and being grateful for what health function I did have was a big part of it too. Learning to be grateful, remembering to be grateful, because I could although I was a lot resentful and shameful of self-pity about the state that my body was in, and was full of anger and fear at the same time. After years of sitting in that state, I was like, well, I based on what I know about being a musician and being around spirit led and spirit filled people, you just remember that trouble does not last always. And so I prayed for help. I prayed for a change of heart. Glory to God. And I just picked up what pieces that I could and did what I could with what I did what I did what I could with what I have. And so based on those tiny actions, over the last 10 years, I started uh, hiking more. That was one thing. I started going and getting back in touch with being outside in nature, because I realized identifying as a musician and identifying as only a musician, I was like, well, all I gotta do is just play shows and sit in the studio and make music and be great at that. And there's more to life than just strumming or plucking um, that inanimate piece of wood with metal. But it can open a lot of doors for you, and it has, and I'm very grateful for that gift. But at the same time, can't get caught up in that, and I did. And so I'm here to all that to say the 10-year challenge. I spent the last 10 years working on myself, working on my health, getting want to get stronger, healthier, learn more so that I can travel and can you know be responsible. It's really about being responsible for your own health. None of these doctors, they can, I don't believe legally they can tell you to exercise, or I believe that there are some oaths that keep them from being honest, completely honest, like almost to where your feelings get hurt honest. I don't know. I've spent so much of my resources and all the generally everything that I've been able to make with that has been invested in my health. And so now I'm at a point to where I've I've amassed quite a bit of how about like this? It's time to get to work. I spent a lot of time working on myself, getting in shape. So now I'm at a good healthy how the boxers say fighting weight, and I'm ready to get to work. I'm ready to do some playing. I'm ready to get out there and be a resource. So if you know of anybody, because right now with my schedule, I'm able to travel, do some light traveling, and I'm really willing to do that. And for the right outfit, there's always accommodations that can be met, regardless of whatever thing you have going on in your life. Always remember that. So, with that being said, I'm here in Nashville for, during the week during the weekdays for a certain time now. So I'm with that time. I'm certainly wanting to be more um, forthright about putting myself in a position to teach more. I know that there are a lot of people that always ask me about